You're watching HCC News with Johnny Harvey, Haley Richardson, and Carson Prismas with sports.
Hello and welcome to another edition of HCC News. I'm Hannah Arthur sitting in for Johnny.
And I'm Haley Richardson. Here's what's happening around Hutchinson this week. If you were on campus Tuesday, you may have noticed a lot of people walking around without shoes. In honor of Tom's Day Without Shoes, the HCC Honor Student Council held an event to raise awareness about those in developing countries who don't have shoes.
So today we're raising awareness for children who don't have shoes in some African countries, and they can get a lot of diseases from not having shoes, such as hookworm, which is a particularly nasty disease. And so today we're just going around campus without shoes to raise awareness for those that don't have them.
Tom's is a shoe company that when you buy a pair of shoes, they give one away to a child in need. So like the children we're raising awareness for are the children that are going to receive the shoes. And so when you buy a pair, a kid gets a pair. And so it's their motto is one for one. It's a worldwide event, which last year over 25 countries participated. And so this year we're expecting more. But the reason I decided I wanted to do this was because when I was in high school, we learned about these diseases that children suffer, and it just stuck with me. And then when I realized that it wasn't just an academic thing, but it was an actual people are involved in this, and they suffered from these diseases. I really wanted to do something, and this is a great way to do something, just to make people aware that it actually happens.
To further promote awareness, the Honor Student Council will be collecting gently used shoes and working with a nonprofit organization to deliver them in need both here in the States and overseas on Friday, April 20th from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. in the Parker Student Union.
How long has it been since you've been to a good melodrama? The HCC Theater Department is presenting the musical The Drunkard through this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. in the Stringer Fine Arts Center. The cost is $10 for adults, with students and employees free with ID. The Drunkard is a damsel on the railroad tracks morality play full of laughs, heartache, joy, and song.
Well, The Drunkard is actually a really old play. It first premiered in 1844. It was not set to music back then. It was an old-style melodrama with the villain with the mustache and the heroine who needs to be rescued by the hero, of course. And it's had several revivals over the years. It's a Prohibition-style melodrama, so it was sort of cashing in on the popularity of the temperance movement at the time. And then in 1964, Bro Herod and Barry Manilow got a hold of it and decided that it needed a full musical treatment and needed to be a little funnier. And so they turned it into just an hysterically funny comedy and set it to music. And that's The Drunkard that we have today. We have right here a box of boo bags. So these are just little bean bags that we're still working on. And the purpose of these is that audience members will get them as they come into the show, and they will be allowed to throw the boo bags at actors on stage. Now we hope that they will behave and only throw boo bags at the villain. That's what's appropriate, but you know, who knows what might happen. Come to see the show and come with a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm, because this is definitely an audience participation type show.
All right. Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
It's time for another interesting Dylan lecture. This coming Tuesday, April 17th, Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson will be here speaking at the Sports Arena. At Grandview Hospital, Dr. Anderson was a leading specialist of the internal medicine in cardiology and pulmonology, and has trained at the Cleveland Clinic as well as the University of Miami's Jackson Memorial in open heart surgery. Dr. Anderson will be speaking at this Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. on personal health, nutrition, and fitness. Ticket cost is $10, and all students get in free. And students, don't forget, we will be on an assembly schedule.
The Hutchinson Human Relations Committee voted 9-0 to recommend that the city's anti-discrimination ordinance be amended to add protection from discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity in employment, housing, and public accommodations. The recommendation, which followed 3 forums to gather public opinion last month, will go to the Hutchinson City Council in early May. The issue draws strong opinions on both sides of the aisle. Some cite worries that the protection will infringe on religious liberties or that transgendered people may attempt to use opposite-sex restrooms.
Reno County Commissioners voted 3-0 in favor of a shooting ban along the Arkansas River on Tuesday. The ban comes 1 month after a stray bullet believed to have been fired from near the river went through a window and hit a couch near a mother and her baby. The ban now makes it a misdemeanor for anyone to shoot within the banks of the river, punishable by up to 6 years in jail or fines up to $1,000 or both.
The Neighborhood Watch volunteer who shot 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was arrested and charged with second-degree murder Wednesday after weeks of mounting tensions and protests across the country. George Zimmerman, 28, could get up to life in prison if convicted on February 26th in the February 26th slaying of the unarmed teenager. Second-degree murder is typically brought in cases where there is a fight or other confrontation that results in death but involves no premeditation to kill. It carries a mandatory minimum of 25 years behind bars when a gun is used.
In another wrongful death case closer to home, family members of 14-year-old Alicia DeBolt wiped away tears and embraced after Barton County jurors on Friday found Adam Longoria guilty of capital murder in DeBolt's August 2010 death. DeBolt was tricked by the 38-year-old Longoria, who in text messages lured her from her Great Bend home August 12, 2010. Longoria then took the 14-year-old DeBolt to Venture Core asphalt plant southwest of Great Bend, where he had worked that day, sexually assaulted her, covered her mouth with duct tape, and burned her body. The state is no longer seeking the death penalty for Longoria, but the capital murder still carries a sentence of life in prison without parole.
A mistrial was declared in a murder case in Topeka this week after a reporter posted a photo from within the courtroom to Twitter that showed a juror in the background. 20-year-old Austin Tabor is charged with killing 20-year-old Matthew Mitchell in 2010 near a Topeka high school. The trial will be rescheduled. The Topeka Capital Journal has since apologized for the error and say it will use it as a training tool for employees.
A Wichita Pizza Hut delivery driver got a little more than cash when she brought a pizza to a customer at a hotel. Tucked among the bills the man handed over was a plastic bag containing a white substance. The 22-year-old delivery driver called the police after making the discovery, and upon testing the substance and discovering it was methamphetamine, officers went to the hotel and searched the customer's room. A bag of meth and cocaine were seized, and a 35-year-old man was booked into jail pending charges.
Major mobile phone carriers have agreed to a plan to track and shut down cell phones reported stolen. The carriers have teamed up with the U.S. government and the HCC to build a database of stolen cell phones in order to track and even shut them down remotely. Each cell phone will have a serial number like a car license plate that will be stored in the database if stolen. The effort is to track down on the rising numbers of cell phone theft around the country by making the resale value on the phones nothing. So Haley, what do you think about their idea to track and shut down cell phones?
I think it would be a good way to stop criminals from stealing things.
Me too. I think it's a good idea.
Stay with us. When we come back, Carson is here with a look at sports.
Welcome back to HCC News for Sports. I'm Carson Prismus. The baseball team is in action this weekend when they travel to Colby. The game on Saturday will begin at 1, and the game on Sunday will also begin at 1. Monday, the golf team will head to Salina for the Men's Jayhawk Conference number 5. It will begin at noon. Then on Tuesday, the Lady Dragons softball team will play host to Heston College at the Fun Valley Sports Complex at 3. And that's all I have for this week. So it's looking to be another rainy weekend.
Yep, I am tired of the rain.
I don't mind, I love the rain.
Yeah, it keeps the grass green.
Well, that's all we have for this week. For HCC News, I'm Hannah Arthur.
I'm Haley Richardson.
And I'm Carson Prismus. Have a great week.
HCC News is a production of the Broadcast and Media Technology program of Hutchinson Community College. For more information on the program or to submit your story ideas, please call 665-3433.